What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Wednesday Afternoon Worship. Last week on the channel, we covered some pretty heavy stuff, specifically the chiefest of all evil deities in Pathfinder, Asmodeus, and starting next week, we will begin a 4-part mini-series in Wednesday Afternoon Worship at the request of Adam Spain and the Inn of Planar Crossroads, where we will discuss the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Today, however, at the request of Kirk McCullough, we'll be talking about the Imperial Lord Jaliajatali appearing in Chronicles of the Righteous. Before we get down to that, though, real quick, we've got to plug our patrons, and today, this episode of Wednesday Afternoon Worship was brought to you by Joseph Harvilla. Joe, as always, thank you for your help. I appreciate you more than you will probably ever know, but we can get all mushy later. Let's dive in. Jaliajatali is a free-spirited imperial lord who sings with the voice of a rushing creek. Her presence can be felt in the rapids of a flowing river or beneath the misty cascade of a waterfall. Jaliajatali appears as a beautiful Mwangi woman with skin formed of tiny iridescent scales. Her pointed ears peek through short black hair, and her body is garbed in a robe of living water that continually splashes and rushes over her form. At a moment's notice, the Imperial Lord can pluck at a stream of water from her robe to wield as a whip. Real Song, as she is also known, loves to teach mortals the beauty of natural music, from the patter of summer rain to the sawing of katydids. While Jaliajatali much prefers making music to making war, she can be roused to anger by fiends and evil creatures that corrupt her waters, particularly things such as river drakes and or water oni. On Elysium, Jaliajatali lives in a pool fed by a waterfall that falls continually from the sky with no apparent source. Around the pool stands a gazebo of acacia wood and crystal, with raised wooden platforms covered in soft mats of greenery where guests can recline. Across the real world, there are several deities venerated as water spirits or gods. Jaliajatali's appearance as a beautiful Mwangi woman leads me to believe we might be referencing Yoruba mythology here, something along the lines of Yemoja, Oshun, Yemaya, any of those gods associated, like Jaliajatali, with the water. It's worth noting, however, that the Vishkanya are among her minions, which leads one to believe that perhaps something along the lines of Hindu or Vedic mythology, perhaps the lord of all water bodies Varuna, might also be referenced here as well. Some of the imperial lords, especially those like Jaliajatali, are pretty obscure, so we can only hope as the wheel rolls on and we get more things like Pathfinder bestiaries and splat books where we might see the imperial lords made flesh, that we might get more information about them, especially if, like Kirk McCullough, we're playing someone who worships them. For now, we just have to go with what we have and fill in the rest of the blanks. Jaliajatali is chaotic good, and her domains are chaos, good, scaly kind, and water, with the subdomains Azada, Flotsam, Revelry, and Rivers. Her favored weapon is a whip, and her holy symbol is water flowing from a wooden pipe. Her temples include bard colleges, port towns, river banks, and waterfalls, and her worshippers include bards, good lizard folk, and river sailors stand among the Azada Imperial Lord's minions. Now, though we don't have a lot of lore on Jaliajatali herself, we do have an obedience here, and of course, since those can be really powerful, we just have to talk about it. Jaliajatali's obedience requires us to stand under a waterfall or pour water over your head while singing wordlessly, letting the sound of the moving water inspire you. In return, we gain a +4 sacred bonus on saves against the spells, spell-like abilities, and supernatural abilities of creatures with the aquatic or water subtype. So if you plan on playing something along the lines of Skull and Shackles, or maybe you know there's going to be a lot of brine dragons thrown at you, Jaliajatali might be your path to salvation. At level 12, Jaliajatali's obedience grants us access to hydraulic push 3 times a day, slipstream twice a day, or once a day water breathing. At 16th level, we grow a coat of iridescent scales that match our skin tone, which allows us to increase our natural armor bonus by +3. At 20th level, 3 times per day, you and a number of willing touched companions, equal to half your hit dice, so probably 10, may meld into a body of flowing water, such as a river or creek, and travel up or downstream at a rate of 50 miles per hour. This transformation takes 1 minute to complete, and you can wind through natural obstructions with ease as long as the body of water still flows, but not through largely impenetrable barriers such as artificial dams. This effect lasts for a number of hours equal to your hit dice, and you cannot otherwise act or defend yourself while traveling in this way. But that seems totally fine in something where, again, we know there's going to be lots of water, or in a low magic game where you need to travel somewhere really, really fast. This goes double if no one in the party is playing something along the lines of a wizard or cleric, somebody who's got all 9 spell levels worth of teleports and gates and all that other fancy stuff to get people from point A to point B. If you know you're going to be traveling in a region with a lot of rivers, and really most regions in most areas of most worlds, unless we're hanging out in Dark Sun, are going to have bodies of water, Jaliajatali can help you travel pretty much wherever you need to go, safely and quickly. I will also note that Jaliajatali is one of the few deities whose favored weapon is a whip. If we play a war priest worshipping Jaliajatali, and Kirk McCullough, the man who requested this video, is in fact playing a war priest who worships Jaliajatali, we can take a weapon that normally does not a lot of damage and shoot its damage dice up into the stratosphere. So again, if you're a player who wants to use a whip, if you anticipate traveling through lots of water, or if you enjoy having a Mwangi goddess, then really we don't see a lot of those in Pathfinder's lore, Jaliajatali is the way to go. Of course, however, this is just one man's opinion. What do you guys think about Jaliajatali or any of the Imperial Lords that don't have a whole lot of information? Do you guys want more on the Imperial Lords? Should we flood Paizo's inbox with our wants until they print something like Book of the Damned for Imperial Lords, and really, for that matter, all of the smaller non-core pantheons that exist in Pathfinder? Because if you guys want to get behind that, we can do it. As always, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. The next episode of Wednesday Afternoon Worship drops next Wednesday.